Hi guys, this is Pete and this is my point of view on the upcoming game versus Aston Villa on Thursday in the Carabao Cup. Today we're going to go into four polls that I put out there on Twitter, just get the results off them and some comments. Then we're going to go into my thoughts on the game, my predicted 11, and then also on to some of your guys' thoughts on that predicted 11 that I put out there and to see whether you agree. So we'll start off with the polls that I put out there. The first poll I put out there was, who do you think will start in goal on Thursday versus Villa? Obviously, the three options I put out there were David De Gea, Martin Dubravka and Tom Heaton. So the results of the poll is you guys gave Tom Heaton 2%, Martin Dubravka 48% and David De Gea 50%. Obviously, between Dubravka and De Gea, it's pretty split even, and obviously Heaton gets 2%. I think a lot of fans kind of want to see Dubravka get his debut now, because if we're not going to play him, like at least in the Carabao Cup or in cup competitions, then what was the point of getting him on loan for Newcastle? Was it just a waste of money? Obviously, Tom Heaton's still a decent enough keeper that he could have been back up to De Gea, so it's just kind of getting your head round why Dubravka came if he's not going to get a chance. The next poll that I put out there was, does Donny deserve another chance in midfield on Thursday? Now, this poll got 31 votes. No got 65% of the vote, and then yes 35%. Obviously, I think with Donny's performance in the last match against Villa, I think a lot of people think he doesn't deserve another shot. For me, I think he deserves one more chance. Maybe off the bench tomorrow rather than starting, but we'll have to see. On that poll, I got two comments. The first one from @Mr. Craigmore1, and he said, no, he's done nothing to deserve a start, which I kind of agree with. Obviously, in the last two performances that he put in, he wasn't great. And then at Zivat Apra 5418960 said, deserves nothing. Done nothing to be in the squad, taking up the place of a youngster. Maybe that's a good point. Maybe Donny might not even be in the squad, so Eric Ten Hag can put more kids on the bench. Maybe give him a chance, after 60 minutes or something, if the game's in the bag. Now the next poll that I put out there was who should start as a centre forward on Thursday, with the three options being Ronaldo, Martial and Rashford. This poll got 45 votes, and for me it kind of went the way that I thought it would. Rashford got 11% of the vote, Ronaldo got 22% of the vote, and Martial was way out in front with 67% of the vote. To be honest, I'm looking forward to seeing Martial play. I hope he starts. I think he will start. I think it'll give him at least 60 minutes to work up his fitness for the game against Fulham on Sunday, so hopefully that's going to happen. And then the last question I put out there was, with us playing Villa in the Carabao Cup on Thursday, what do you think Eric Ten Hag will do? The three options I put out there was play his strongest team, will he heavily rotate, or will he play a strong team with a couple of youngsters in there? This poll got 28 votes, and the percentage was 39% of you guys said you should play his strongest team, 29% said heavily rotate, and 32% said strong team with a few kids. Now, for me, the reason I think it's so split is because Ten Hag does normally play his strongest team no matter the competition, and I get that. I think it'd be silly to heavily rotate and play a lot of our backup players, because Villa are also going to put out a strongest team, and we're not going to want to get turned over by them again. But maybe the best option would be a strong team with a few kids, but we'll have to see. And I got one comment on this. Mr. Craigmore once said, needs to rotate, but it wouldn't surprise me if he plays a strong side. He might throw a few kids in, which is kind of what I think he's going to do. So now we'll just go quickly on to my thoughts for the game. Obviously, with the game at the weekend ending the way it did, we was losing 3-1. I think Ten Hag wasn't happy with the performance. I think he's going to emphasise to the lads that they need to pull the fingers out their asses to put in more effort to really, put in the running yards, press more, be a lot more aggressive, control the midfield more, get on the ball more. And I'm hoping that they're really going to take that message on board, and maybe, hopefully, we're gonna inflict a heavy defeat on Villa as a bit of revenge. Mr. Good Evening has come in and they got the bit of the bounce, but hopefully that's only going to last for the one game, and we'll be able to get on top and put a lot more effort in and play them off the park. For me, the key areas is in any game is midfield. I think in the midfield we need to really get on the ball, compose ourselves. Press high. Do what Eric Ten Hag wants to do. Press high, get the ball back further up the pitch. Don't give them a chance to create stuff and play, because that's what we did on Sundays. Let them dictate possession and let them dictate the play. And obviously we've seen what they did with that, and they beat us 3-1, beat us quite comfortably. So now I'm going to go into what my starting 11 would be for the game. So in net, I've gone for Dubravka. For me, I think it's time for him to get his debut. De Gea's been superb, and I don't think Dubravka's got any chance of unseating him from the number one position. I'd just like to see him get a game in a United shirt and to see what he can do. So yeah, that's goalkeeper for me, Dubravka. Then at right back, I'd stick with Delo. I know we've ran him into the ground a bit, but I think he's the only right back that we've got that suits the style of play that we want to play. So yeah, I'd stick with Delo there. Then at right centre back, I'm sticking with Victor Lindelof. I know there most will be calls for us to give Maguire a game, but I think Villa showed us with the pace they've got, if they play Leon Bailey again and Ollie Watkins, I'd be terrified to see Maguire try to deal with Bailey's pace. Obviously, I think he'd stand up a little bit better to Watkins' strength than what Lindelof did, but I'd worry then about Watkins' pace against him, because I just think Maguire is too slow to play the way that Eric Ten Hag wants to play, and if he does play, we'll end up dropping 10 yards deeper, and I don't like to see us do that. So I'd stick with Lindelof. Then at left centre back, it's got to be Martinez. I feel like he needs to start every game that he can for us. His leadership, his desire to win. He was the only player one of only few players on Sunday that kept his head up high, played with pride, tried to drag the team up a level with his performance. So I'm hoping that he's going to stay there at left centre back. Then at left back, I'd stick with Luke Shaw. Maybe we might see Malacia instead, but I just think Shaw offers us that little bit more going forward. I'm hoping to see him overlap a bit more than he did on Sunday, and I'd hope that he's going to do that if he plays. Now moving into the midfield, I've gone for a midfield of first Casemiro. I think Casemiro's completely vital to the way that we want to play. I don't feel like we have any other midfield that can do the holding role. McTominay is not really a defensive midfielder, even though he plays there a lot. He doesn't have the capability to break up the play as well. He can break up the play, but I just don't think he's as good at that. And obviously, Casemiro's passing range is a lot better too. So that's why I'd stick with Casemiro. And then next to Casemiro, I've gone for Zidane Iqbal. I'd like to see him get a chance. I feel like the kid's got a lot of composure, and I feel like this is the type of game that if he's going to break through into the team, that he's going to have to get a chance in and show his quality. So I'm hoping that he does get to start and he can do that. And then in front of them, I've gone for Fernandes. I feel like he needs to start. He showed on Sunday that without him in the team, we just don't make the same type of chances. We don't play the same way. We don't have as much fight and passion without him in the team. So I really want to see him back. And then on the right hand side, I've gone for Facundo Palestri. I feel like this is also a game where we need to see what he's capable of. Obviously, we spent a little bit of money on him, and we've not really seen him in a United shirt. We've seen him in pre-season games, but we've not really seen him get a chance. So for me, this would be a game I'd chuck him into. You know, from what I've seen of him, he looks like he's direct. He's got a lot of pace. He likes to take a man on and get crosses into the box. So I'd like to see him play and to see what he can do. At least just to see if he's good enough, because obviously if he's not good enough at the moment, we can send him out on loan in January, but this would be where I'd give him that chance to show what he can do. And then moving over to the left-hand side, I'd stick with Garnacho. Garnacho had a decent game on Sunday. He didn't set the world on fire, but you know, he's only a kid. You can't expect him to play great every game. And I just want to see more and more of him to see whether he has got it. For me, I think he looks like a real star. So I'm hoping that he gets to start again. And then up front, I've gone for Martial. I'm looking forward to see how we do with Martial through the middle rather than Ronaldo. I feel like Ronaldo's obviously didn't have match fitness at the start, but I feel like now he's had his chance and he's just not been up to it. And I feel like now it's Martial's time to get a few games under his belt, get a bit of fitness, and hopefully make that centre-forward role his own now, with Ronaldo as a backup. And obviously if Ronaldo leaves in January, then we need to bring in a striker as backup to Martial. But I think Martial should be our starting striker for the rest of the season to see how he does. So now, guys, I'm going to go into a few comments that I got on my predicted start 11 up out there on Twitter. So the first comment was from @ShoestringPodTM, and they said, I like this lineup, to be honest. Just hope we smash Villa. Now, cheers for agreeing with the lineup. Obviously, I actually think it's quite a good, young, fluid lineup, and that, you know, it's got enough creativity in it, enough pace and directness to cause Villa a lot of problems. And I too hope that we do smash them, get a bit of revenge. You know, show them the way that we can play, the way we have been playing lately. We just didn't show up in that game on Sunday, so I'm hoping that we can do that. While I'm mentioning the Shoestring podcast's tweet, give those guys a follow on Twitter. They're putting out some really good stuff. Give them a like and subscribe on all the videos on YouTube. They're doing some great things. They announced yesterday that they're going to have Nathan Ellington on one of the shows possibly, which is massive for them. And obviously, I hope it really takes off for them because they're putting out some really great stuff. To be honest, they were the guys that kind of helped convince me to do this type of thing and put videos out there. So I'm really happy for them that they're getting loads of success, and they might be able to get a bit bigger with this Nathan Ellington thing. So well done, guys. And now the next tweet that I got was from Samuel Odaba76, and he said, a very good lineup, I must say. I don't expect to see Rashford or Ronaldo among our front three either. And Iqbal, he should start in that game then. Shaw should be dropped from Alasia because I don't feel he knows how to pass the ball across to Garnacho. That was something that I thought we struggled with on Sunday, that Luke Shaw didn't really have the same wavelength of Garnacho, so we didn't see that overlapping that he has when Rashford or Sancho were out there. So I'm hoping maybe another game together will, you know, get that understanding up a bit more, and we might see more of the normal Luke Shaw, and he might help elevate Garnacho's game as well, you know, if they work well together. So the next tweet was from @FasterandFoxier, and they said, who should replace Rashford and Ronaldo? Now, for me, like I said, I'd have a Palestri out on the right instead of Rashford from the weekend, because I just think Rashford doesn't want to play there. If he's going to play, he has to play off the left or down the middle. He does not want to be on the right. And Ronaldo, I think he drops to the bench. Martial starts. I think that's going to be the best for the team, and hopefully we're going to see that. Then the next tweet was from @Shakes_10, and he said, "That's a good lineup, but players like McT and Fred are in need of game time, and also ahead of Iqbal in that midfield. And also I think Maguire will start. I can maybe see Maguire starting, but I don't want to. I just don't think he has the pace to play the system that we want to play, and I don't think, I don't enjoy watching us sit deeper just to fit Maguire into that team. And also, I know that the other two midfielders are in front of Iqbal in the team, but this is a competition where kids should get a chance. I know we're playing another Premier League team, but I've put 3 youngsters into that squad with 8 other good strong seasoned professionals. I think this is the type of game where if you mix them with enough experience, they should thrive, and I'm hoping that they'll do that, the players that I've suggested. And then the last tweet that I got on this was from @United P.O.V, and he said, nice lineup, to be honest. I think Iqbal will play too. Now, I'm glad that you agree. I really want to see what he can do. From the pre-season games, he looks really composed on the ball. He looks like he can pass through the lines. He's got a lot of energy. Can press, can close players down. So I just really want to see that, and I'm hoping that we do. So yeah, that's it now for me, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Obviously, do me a favour, like the video, subscribe to the channel. The more likes I get on the video, the more it'll pop up on other people's YouTube on their recommended, and because it helps the algorithm just to get me out there. So I appreciate every like that I get, obviously, and to the people that have subscribed already. I think I've got 15 subscribers now. I didn't think I'd get one for just me standing in my kitchen talking rubbish about United. So I really appreciate everyone who's subscribed, and obviously if you like what you saw, subscribe to the channel. It'll be massive for me, and I appreciate all the support that I've got and all the advice and stuff I've been getting from people on Twitter, and the help as well. And obviously all you guys sending in tweets and stuff to give me something to talk about has been great, because obviously I know that I've called the channel Pete's United Point of View, but having your point of view about this club that we love too is massive for me, and it helps me more than you know. So thank you very, very much. Just say I'm getting a microphone hopefully for tomorrow's match reaction, so the sound quality should be much better by then. So hopefully that's going to help the videos as well. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.